Hi guys, today we are going to be doing our second math lesson of our new chapter, chapter 12, which is 3D shapes. Our essential question, remember, is how do I identify and compare three-dimensional shapes? So yesterday we talked about the first two shapes, sphere and cube. We talked about them. I told y'all I was gonna go get some shapes and I sure did. So I've got shapes today, but let's go ahead and talk about the two new shapes. There we go. All right, we have cylinder and cone. So those are going to be our two shapes that we're talking about today. So a cylinder right here, I have one, right? It's a solid shape. Remember, we don't have any holes. We have two sides. So a cylinder not only has curves, right? But it also has flat surfaces. So a cylinder, it can slide. So I'm going to show you guys how they slide. Okay, so your cylinder can slide on one flat surface, right? It can roll on that curve, all right? And then it can be stacked, which means you could stack a bunch of cylinders on top of each other. But just for reference, I'm going to show you a cube. Remember yesterday we said a cube stacks and slides. So look, cylinder and cube can stack together. All right, and then again, cube can slide as well. So a cylinder has curves and flat surfaces. It can slide, roll, and stack. So our next shape is going to be the cone. Love this shape because it just reminds me of like snowballs and ice cream and all the fun summer things that I can't wait to have. All right, so a cone is a fun one. It's got curves and flat surfaces. So I've got my little red cone right here, and you can see that it's got a curve, right? So this side is curved, but then it's got one flat surface, okay? So it can slide. I'll show you. It can slide on that one flat surface, but then also it can roll. So let's see it roll. And it's funny because it rolls literally in a circle. So that's kind of a fun thing. I hope you guys can see this. Oh, okay. So there is the cone. It can slide, it can roll. Now it can stack, but it can only stack one time. So it can be like the top. Because you know, like when you get an ice cream cone or when you get a snowball, you have like your cup that it sits in and then you have your cone on top. So it can stack just one time, but it's not really a feature of it. We more say that it can slide and roll. So that's our cylinder and our cone. And then I'm going to show you guys two. Let's see, cylinder and cone. And then we have the sphere, which we know can only roll because it's got all the curved surfaces. And then we've got our cube, which can slide and it can stack. But cannot roll. And remember yesterday I said that it could kind of roll, but you'd just be like pushing it from surface to surface. So we'd rather just say it slides and stacks. All right, I hope you guys are able to find some shapes like this in your house. That way you can kind of manipulate the shapes and see how they move, and then you're better able to compare and contrast the shapes as well. I know a lot of us have like building blocks at home, maybe in like your toy chest or your playroom. So I'm going to challenge you to go and see if you can find all four of the shapes that we're going to be talking about in chapter 12. And if you can't find them just like this, do your best to find shapes that are almost similar. So for me, I was thinking like for a cylinder, I was like, maybe I can find like a can of Pringles or maybe like a canned good, maybe like a can of corn or something in my house. That would be a cylinder. I really struggled with the cube because I was trying to look for maybe some dice, a dice, maybe a old cardboard box that I had. I really struggled with this one, but then I ended up with, you know, when you charge your iPad or maybe you charge your iPhone, the little white cube that sticks into the wall. I was like, that's a cube. Don't touch that without your parents' permission though. Don't do that. And then obviously for sphere, those are pretty easy to find. My roommate has a dog and her dog has tennis balls. So I found a tennis ball that looked just like this. And then cone, my brain just kept going back to snowball and ice cream. But if you did have like a party hat, it would be a cone. So there's many different things that you could do for this, but my brain just keeps going back to food. So I might have to go get an ice cream cone or maybe a snowball and see if I can get one of these. All right, so I challenge you guys to find these shapes in your house. Okay, bye.